Hello there. Welcome to Healthy Cooking with your friendly Italians. I don't sound very healthy today, but I've got a cold, so forgive me for that. But I'm Jim Bero.
And I'm Marilyn Bero.
And we have a very, very special guest today.
Yes, we do.
From the Gould Hotel. The holidays are upon us. Thanksgiving is coming. So we're going to be talking about all the wonderful things that are going to be done at the Gould and the foods and the holidays. And we'll be talking about It's a Wonderful Life. And we want to welcome Chef Ben to our show. He's been here before. And so he's back with us, and we're gonna go through that. I also have got a recipe for a very, very famous hot water sponge cake. It was in Marilyn's family for many years.
It's called Grandma Rossi's, but she was my aunt. But it was served at every celebration of everybody's birthday, whatever the occasion was. So.
Yep. So let's talk holidays. Let's talk Thanksgiving.
Well, we should start that today is Veterans Day.
Today is Veterans Day, and the Gould is doing something for Veterans Day. Is that right?
Yeah, we are. It's Veterans Day today, so we invite all the veterans to bring their military ID in, and they will have a complimentary meal up to $25 on us. So we encourage any veterans coming in.
Can't get any better than that. That's
no.
Wonderful. And that's great.
That's great. And there are so many restaurants that are doing, and we should, without our veterans and the people that are out there saving our freedom, we're very grateful to all of their service. That's for sure.
Yeah,
it's very important.
Appreciative of that, of course.
So we're all excited about the holidays. Now, I'm sure a lot of you people are going to go through all the problems of cooking at home and doing your Thanksgiving dinner. But to be very honest with you, if you want a better meal without the fuss, go to the Gould.
And Chef Ben will tell us all about what you're going to do for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So Thanksgiving this year, we're going to have a traditional buffet starting at, I believe, 11 or so.
Okay.
And it goes all the way till about 5 o'clock in the evening.
All right.
We're going to have traditional Thanksgiving carving station. We're going to have a ham carving station for those who don't, get into the turkey so much. We're going to have a bunch of side dishes, stuffing made with our house-made bread. I'm going to do sweet potato cheesecakes. I'm going to do baked potatoes and, just all the fixings to go along with that, cranberry sauce and house-made desserts and all the wonderful side dishes that you would normally expect on a Thanksgiving dinner. But you don't have to prepare it yourself. So.
Which is sort of nice. And if you have a small group, it's sort of nice that you don't have to go through all of that. I mean,
yeah.
I've been experimenting with, you talk about sweet potatoes, sweet potato casseroles. I've been experimenting by taking cauliflower and steaming it and pureeing it and folding that into sweet potatoes.
In with it?
Oh,
and that sounds delicious.
It gives it a different texture to it, but it really
and we've
is.
done over the time to make mashed potatoes with cauliflower or a combination of the white potato and the cauliflower as part of the mashed potatoes, and it really is good.
Yeah, cauliflower being so buttery and it has such a nice taste, and it takes on whatever flavor, it's really good at that as well, and it gives a wonderful texture. It's good on its own. It's good with just about everything else. So.
And then it gives you a few more vitamins and nutrients. And
exactly.
Right, because it is a vegetable. So.
I also want to put in we go to the Gould every Wednesday and eat out at the bar. With a group
That's
of
women's night.
It's ladies' night on Wednesday.
It's ladies' night on Wednesday.
The finger food that we get is absolutely wonderful. Plus, the soups are the best ever.
Oh, the soups are phenomenal. Yeah, of course.
And it's a fun night. There's just a bunch of us that know about it, and we never decide who's going or who isn't. It doesn't make any difference. If you want to go, we go on Wednesday night. So we all pretty much know each other, and it's just a fun night. You get specialties on drinks and specialties on some of your appetizers, and you change those appetizers every week, don't you?
Yeah, I'll come up with a special appetizer just for ladies' night. Whatever I think that it would be good as far as like what the weather is doing outside, I'll kind of match that up to the mood of the environment and everything like that.
The green beans tempura.
Yes.
With the was it honey you put?
Yeah,
Outstanding. Absolutely outstanding.
that was back when I could go to the farmer's market
Right,
every week.
yes,
And
yes.
those beans came from the market, and I
Right.
dressed them up with some honey and tempura battered them. Oh, they're so delicious.
It was really, really good. And so the food, God bless you. Thank you
The
for being here.
food-
Oh
Yes,
no, I
the food
enjoy
is-
doing it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
And also, we're going to have A Wonderful Life is coming up.
Yeah, everybody knows around here it's A Wonderful Life, the movie, and it's loosely based on around this town and everything. So we all embrace that. We have this wonderful week-long event that we're doing. Well, weekend-long event. We have Zuzu from the movie coming in, and she's doing a book signing. So we're taking her recipe book, and I'm making a special brunch just solely using stuff out of her recipe book. To try to get those throwback recipes in there and a little bit different of a taste and take on things. I'm also going to run dinner specials all weekend, also out of the recipe book from the recipes from the movie, as well as we're doing a really big runners event. We're going to be serving chili and chicken wings in the parking lot for the runners. We're
how wonderful. That's a very nice idea.
I understand we have 4,000 runners.
I think more than that at this
Yeah,
point.
there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I know that we have at least right now 500 people coming in that want the whole like chicken wing and chili event thing in the parking lot, and we're gonna have hot chocolate and candy canes and a special brew. It's gonna be wonderful. Yeah.
And I think some of the stores are going to have a chili available at their stores, and that people are going to bring in. They're going to do a contest on who has the best chili. It's going to be a great weekend.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot of
It's
fun.
always been fun.
All over
and
town,
we
yeah.
just get so many people coming in, particularly for the race. And a few years we've actually had weddings on the bridge. Now I don't. It seems like a strange time of the year to getting married on the bridge, but
Yeah.
there have been in past years.
Well, it's the whole mood and
Yes, it is.
ambiance of it. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Well, we're so glad that you're with us. We're so glad that the Gould is here as the keynote of this community, and the food that you're serving is great, and we thoroughly enjoy it. What else would you like to talk about the Gould and your foods, and any hints or anything you might want?
Oh, let's see. Well, it's about fall, winter time. I do have a new menu that's going to come out. I have a lot of ideas sketched out for that already, and I've tried some of the dishes as specials. Tonight, actually, for Veterans Day, I'm going to do the marinated strip steak off of the new menu. It comes with a beurre rouge, which is just a red wine butter sauce, mashed potatoes, and broccoli. Just simple.
Sounds wonderful.
Yes, meat and potatoes type of thing.
Now, the marinade, is it going to be a dry rub marinade or a wet marinade?
Well, it's not too dry, but it's not too wet on the same end. I put them in last night. I do a little bit of red wine, rosemary, crushed garlic, salt and pepper, and that's pretty much all it needs. And give it a good 24 hours, and it gives time for
And these are strip steaks you're going to do?
They are strip steaks.
Yeah.
They're 12-ounce strip steaks. We're going to grill them and put a little bit of sauce underneath as to not cover up the grill marks, and it's going to present well and eat well and hopefully be
That's exciting.
well received for the veterans tonight.
Well, that's absolutely great.
Yep.
I wanted to tell you, I discovered a way to cook scrambled eggs that are creamy.
This morning.
I
You
did this
discovered
morning.
this
Okay.
I'm
morning.
going to throw this at you and see what you think of it.
Okay.
Right? Get your pan medium-low temperature, a little drizzle of either butter, olive oil, or combination of the two. Right? Put your eggs in a cup, and don't beat them up. Don't do anything, and put them into the pan. Once the egg white starts to sizzle, take them off, and just mix it up very loosely, and put a little salt on the top. And these come out extreme. There's no rubberiness to it.
They're very creamy, I guess.
Creamy. And then if you wanted, if I didn't do it this morning, but then I said, geez, I could, put a little topping on it, maybe some spinach or some cheese or something else. It is a great. And when I saw this came from Wegmans, and they
have a magazine that they
Yeah,
send out.
right.
Yes.
And I said,
Jim gets it.
I says, this doesn't sound right. You got to beat the eggs up. You got to, and I says, this is not going to work. And I tried it, And lo and behold, it worked.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, it must be just the residual heat from the pan is
I would
enough
think
to
so. It's
enough.
keep cooking
Right.
the eggs. And
Yeah.
the white and the yolk is completely different from one another, and so they cook differently. And it's
Yeah.
easy to kind of treat them unfairly. I
Right.
guess we would say.
Yeah.
And that makes sense that they come out a lot lighter, and especially that way you're not mixing it up. The whole egg isn't yellow. You have some white and you have some
That's
yellow.
I
right.
know.
You have two colors. Yeah,
Exactly.
You're absolutely right on.
Yeah. See, that's how I like my eggs. A lot of people will beat them together to make it, uniform yellow
Right.
color. Well, I like a little bit of white. I like a little bit of
Yeah.
yellow.
Right,
And,
right.
that's how I like it. So.
Well, that's the way I'm going to eat my eggs from now on.
Wonderful. Wonderful. That sounds delicious. I'm kind of hungry for some eggs now.
There you go.
Yeah.
The other thing is I'm going to do this turkey.
Okay.
And I'm going to cut down on the time that it takes to cook a turkey. And
Well,
I'm
you're
going to
going to
do
do that for a demonstration
I'm
on
going
the
to do
next
it
show.
next show, and we're going to be able to dismember the bird from the legs and the body, and they're both. You're going to cook the legs first and the breast second, and they're all going to come out. They're not going to be dry. You're going to have all the carcass bones available to make your stock with way ahead of time. So I'm really excited about doing this with a turkey. So we'll see how that turns out.
Oh, that's
I hope it's
awesome.
not one of my failures.
Well, no. And what do you recommend? Do you use brining, or what are your thoughts about some of the? There's so many turkey ways of doing turkey that it's
People,
incredible.
yeah, they're so particular on the way that they specifically do their turkey, which
Right.
is understandable. Everybody has their own different way, and everybody it's the best way for them. So if it works for you, just continue to do what you're already doing, and you're happy with the yield that you're getting. A lot of people brine turkeys, and that's dumping them into a solution and letting them soak, and it really opens up the cells and takes on the flavor. When you cook it, it retains a lot of the moisture. A lot of people like to deep fry their turkeys. That gets a little dangerous.
Yeah,
That's the bad thing about that. It comes, you have a really nice product at the end, but if there's a lot of trials and tribulations that you have to go through to get to that. I like just to season my turkey and put it in the oven. That's what I do. I've done it before where you take the bones out and then you roll it back up. So then when you slice it, you have the two consistent meats
Right.
on one slice. I've done it that way. I just like to roast it. I'll put a little seasoning under the skin, on top of the skin. I'll
That's
baste
what I was
it
going to
regular.
ask you. You put it
Do,
under the
do
skin.
you start
Yeah.
putting some things under the skin? Because I've seen that being done too.
Yeah, I'll even put whatever kind of flavor that I want in the carcass of the turkey. I'll score a couple apples and put them
Right.
in there, or a peach, or a plum, or whatever kind of fruits like that. And it really takes on that flavor.
Now, what about, do you bring your turkey to a room temperature before you put it in the oven, or you take it directly out of the refrigerator and put it into the oven?
Well, it's always good to let your protein rest up to almost room temperature. There are a lot of time temperature controls in that, but if you bring it directly out of the cooler, the inside is going to remain that temperature for the majority of the time before it even will start cooking.
Right.
So if you have your protein at a room temperature when you start cooking them, that gives it more of a chance to cook evenly if it's an even temperature.
Right.
It doesn't take so long for that heat to penetrate.
Reduces the time too.
Exactly.
And a lot of people will buy frozen turkeys, and they get caught with their pants down because it takes 5 days to thaw out a turkey.
Well,
Oh,
it's so
it's
mu-
a long time.
It's
So
so
if
much
you-
per pound, isn't there? Some
Yeah.
rule about something like that?
Yeah, there's a lot of tricks that you can do to figure out how to thaw it. I like to just get a fresh turkey.
Yes, so do I.
Hallelujah.
Right. Yeah,
Right, they're much better. But
right.
if you do get a frozen turkey, you have to be careful that you give it enough time to thaw.
Right, and that like you say, you're not fighting the whole frozen cooking, trying to cook some of it from frozen. It's not a good idea to do that. That's where you run into a lot of trouble.
And speaking about frozen turkeys, the New York, the deli here in town on Thanksgiving Day, for people that have no family or are homeless or whatever, they put on a free turkey dinner
Oh, wonderful.
down there,
And
and
they-
everybody.
And you can donate
and we
turkeys.
don't-
You
we-
can bring your frozen turkey. If you get a good deal on a frozen turkey, bring it to the deli.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they will cook them and if you have nothing to do that day, they love volunteers to
Oh,
go in
wonderful.
to help serve.
He's busy.
I know, no, I know he can't do it, but I'm saying for the people that are listening to the show, I mean, instead of feeling if you're, you have nothing going on that day, it's a wonderful thing to do is to volunteer
That's
and go down to the deli to
That's
do.
what Thanksgiving is all about. you
Right,
know?
exactly.
Appreciating, one another and helping everybody out. And,
Right, exactly.
giving thanks to what you're appreciative of.
Right.
We were talking before the show started about everybody has their bloopers. You get involved in cooking, you start experimenting, and things don't work, but you got to go through that in order to learn.
Yes.
And I wanted to tell a story about one of my bloopers,
Okay.
beef Wellington.
Well,
Oh, no.
we've been telling our stories about our family. So this goes back to when we were first married. And my parents decided that they would come up. We were living in Rochester in those days. And they decided that they would come up for New Year's. So Jim is ready. He's gone to work New Year's Eve day. And he takes my father out to go shopping so that we can have a meal on on New Year's. So
I go out and I buy a beautiful filet, and I bought some chicken livers, and I didn't do my own pastry. I got some ready-made pastry. And as we're going through this thing, as we're buying this, my father-in-law, who is a strictly meat and potato eater,
and he loved steak. He
loves
loved
steak.
beef, but he
Right.
loved steak.
he says,
Okay.
what is those livers for? He says, I says, you're going to love it. This is called beef Wellington. We're going to wrap that around this filet, and then we're going to wrap it in pastry, and we're going to cook it, and it's going to come out wonderful. And he didn't say anything. So when I go home and I'm starting to prepare this thing, he comes to me, he says, Jim, he says, why don't you just take a piece off the end.
Just take a
and
small
don't-
piece.
and don't put it in there, and I'll just have it broiled.
And you can just broil the tenderloin for me.
So I said, Dad, you're going to love this. This is a really gourmet treat. It's going to be wonderful. So I went ahead and I did it. It was unedible.
I don't know what he did wrong.
I
But to try-
overcooked it. The liver permeated through the beef so much that it was absolutely but so I had a big blooper. And thank God, my father-in-law is a really nice man. He
never said a word to
Never said a
him.
word.
Well, you
But-
could tell by his face, but certainly never said anything to him.
So do you make beef Wellington?
I've made beef Wellington before, yeah.
It's not easy. It's not something a novice should try.
No, it takes a little bit of practice. It's a classical recipe for the whole banquet type of
Yes,
thing. And
yes.
it's applied
Nice presentations.
Yeah, it presents nice, and it's applied now more to an a la carte aspect. It's more and more popular to find it on an entree menu.
Okay.
Without being it on the buffet, they just use it and utilize it and with a smaller piece of filet.
Okay.
You can use chicken liver. You can use
Mushroom.
mushrooms of Duxelles.
Yeah.
You can wrap that around it. It's always good with foie gras around it. And,
Yeah, foie gras, yeah.
Yeah, and you make a nice, just a nice demi-glaze from the bones that you use. Usually you trim the fillet out of the bones and use those bones for the demi-glaze that you make.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes out really nice, but it can come out not so nice. Say you overcook it, the temperature in the oven is too high, and the puff pastry gets scorched. It just, that
There's
will
all
taint
kinds.
the whole.
Yeah,
there's-
all
it's-
kinds of pitfalls
There
in
is.
beef Wellington. There
There are,
certainly
yeah.
is.
But if you get it right, it's so delicious.
It is.
It
all
melts in your mouth and
it
it's done
does.
right.
All the
Yeah.
flavors come together, and you have all the different textures. It's wonderful.
Well, let me know when you're doing it. I'll come over and have it.
I will.
Yeah, you'll have to give us a special notification. We'll come over and have the beef Wellington.
Of course.
So, and we do enjoy coming to the Gould. We enjoy our Wednesday nights. We enjoy our dinners there, our lunches. It's really a wonderful place. Is there any other kinds of things that you're going to be coming up with in the next month or
Well,
two?
the next closest thing I can think of is New Year's Eve, we usually have here in town the ball drop at Antonina's, and
Yeah, what's going to happen there?
well, we're gonna become Antonitas or
Oh,
martinis.
you're going to. Oh, how
right.
nice!
And we're going to hopefully dress up in like the thin suspenders and have all the the bar gimmicks of that. And
Oh.
we're gonna have the ball drop right on the corner
Oh,
at the
how
Gould
neat.
Hotel this year.
That's
Yep.
great.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's a
because
better-
it's always
it's a great
been such
location,
a wonderful.
Yeah, it brings so many people, and it's such a staple of what's going on in town. And so we're just gonna move it across the bridge a little bit and do it right in here in the center of town, and it's gonna be wonderful. So we're hoping for a really good turnout for that.
Well, that'll be great, and this wonderful white thing has caught on. People come from all over the country almost
Yeah,
to do it.
they do.
So
Really, they do.
It's going to be great. We're going to be doing a show on it the coming weeks, and I'm going to be giving some chili recipes for that show.
And then, of course, Jim is going to be the proverbial Mr. Potter in the Lux radio show.
I'm the bad bank.
So he plays that very well.
Wonderful.
So,
Yeah, I have some success on occasion.
yes. Yeah.
So-
Well, you have some good food successes also.
Well, I thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's
And
been such a pleasure.
always a pleasure to have you with us. Anytime.
Yeah.
Yes,
Love
yes.
And,
And we want to encourage everyone to use the Gould. We are so lucky to have this wonderful hotel and of the food that you're serving there. I had an opportunity, or I ended up at the Phelps Hotel a couple of weeks ago, and I was thinking as I went in that how lucky we are, because they're there, they do serve food, but I mean the renovation, there's no renovation, and I'm thinking how grateful Seneca Falls should be that we have the Gould and everything that's done and the kind
coming
of food
together,
that's
baby.
being served.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
mean that's very important. So I'm very pleased that you're here and that you're doing such a great job.
A lot of people don't even know the magnitude of the things that we're doing there. We kind of get looked over, and we need a little bit more exposure on that broad aspect to have people really know what we're doing.
And you have all kinds of activities all year round.
All year
I mean,
round, we do.
you have book signings and you have special banquets and you've done the fashion show for the House of Concern. I mean, a lot of things that even help the community. You're very community minded. Sharon Hoatland does an incredible job of including the necessities of the community and
She's wonderful. She's on just about any board here in town that you can think of, and she goes and she pushes and she sells their parties, and
Right.
we do a lot of business, and we get really good reviews, and she has a huge hand in that whole aspect of it.
Yes.
Well, the Gould is the lifeblood of this community. It's the center of this thing, and it's necessary for our town to continue to progress. And we urge all of you people to go and try the Gould. You will not be.
You will not be disappointed.
It's really a great spot.
I can tell you that.
So until next time, next time we'll do some things for Thanksgiving. Give you some recipes and cut up a bird and do all those types of things. And then after that, we'll be doing a show on It's a Wonderful Life and all the activities that are going to be there, and some great recipes for chilies. So we're on
And
board.
then in the spring, we can invite Chef Ben back when he gets all started to do a new kind of menu, or when the farmers market opens, and
Oh,
you missed the farmers market, I bet you.
Oh, I do. I don't know what to do on Wednesdays now.
Yeah.
I miss
Right.
that so much. I can't wait. It's the longest winter now until springtime.
Yes.
And I can
Right,
get
and you
back
can
in
get
the
all
market.
back into farm to table and get all those wonderful fresh produce,
Yeah,
which is
it's always,
really great.
It's always better that way.
So
Well, thank you,
thank
All right,
you
thank you
once
guys
again
so
for
much.
coming.
and we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Bye bye, people. The cold is coming. Watch out for the cold.